Hello and welcome into the KSU Convocation Center here in beautiful Kennesaw, Georgia, on the campus of Kennesaw State University, the site of tonight's ASUN women's basketball clash between the Jacksonville State Gamecocks and the Kennesaw State Owls. Hello everyone, I'm Logan Maddox. Thanks for joining us on this Thursday night in Cobb County, Georgia. A great pairing between two strong squads who are trying to gain better positioning in the ASUN conference standings as we near the halfway mark in conference play here in the 2022-23 season. Jacksonville State, couple of tough losses last week up in the Volunteer State, and they head into a home-and-home this week with Kennesaw State. They'll play here at the Convocation Center in Kennesaw on Thursday night, then back at it 2 days from now on Saturday evening at the Pete to round out this year's regular season series with the Owls. These two teams have met plenty of times in the past. In total, this is the 22nd meeting between the Gamecocks and the Owls, and a storied history between these two sides. A lot of great classic matchups. Looking forward to possibly another one here in Cobb County this evening. Haven't had the announcement of the starters just yet, but JSU, got to imagine they're going to go with the usual five of Kyra Williams, Kiera Griffin, Amari Martin, Shantae Shaw, and Kennedy Gavin. Jacksonville State, again, that tough weekend on the road last week, had a shocking loss on Thursday, 47-43, as they fell to Austin Peay up in Clarksville, Tennessee. Allowed the final 5 points of that game to the Governors, who came away with a big win in conference play, and then on Saturday made the trip south to Nashville, suffered a 62-55 loss to Lipscomb. In both of those games, JSU had huge comeback bids and they were able to take the lead, but in neither matchup were they able to hold a lead for very long, and that's surely something that Coach Petrie has tried to stress to the team this week in practice, the importance of keeping their foot on the pedal in these ASUN conference matchups and continuing to take good shots rather than forcing shots, which is something that we saw plenty of up in Tennessee. Kennesaw State, on the other hand, they come into this matchup 7-9 on the year, but 3-2 in conference play. They're coached by second-year head coach Octavia Blue. The former Miami Hurricane was a star player in her college days down in South Florida. The Owls had a really tough non-conference schedule this year. They played, like JSU, at Georgia. They played at Ole Miss, lost both of those games, kind of hobbled into conference play, but they found their footing in their second matchup. After losing their first league test, they won 3 in a row, then lost their last conference test last Saturday at Austin Peay. They also made the trip. They're JSU's travel partner. That's why they were playing the Gamecocks twice this week. They won at Lipscomb on Thursday while JSU played Austin Peay, and then the Governors, who shot the lights out last week, it seemed, and played some solid defense, they picked up a win over Kennesaw State on Saturday to close out the weekend. Two veteran squads as you look through the lineups, some players that we're going to keep our eye on. It's pretty easy for Kennesaw State. Jashay Whitfield, maybe the most talented player on the floor this evening, with all due respect to everybody wearing red and black tonight. Whitfield, the Winthrop transfer, a lot of people within the program felt that, she could have transferred anywhere in the country after last season, decided to come stay at Kennesaw State, play her final season, and the Sumter, South Carolina native continuing to produce here in 2022-23. Just talented players and height throughout this roster for Kennesaw State. You've got Amani Johnson, one of their guards, who leads the league in minutes played. Carly Hooks can hit any shot down the floor. Same thing for Lindsay Wilby, the Purdue transfer. Several other Division I transfers on this team, including Kiara Berry, who came over from Indiana, and Kendall Golden, who came over from Vanderbilt. They've got some young, tall players as well that we may see in 6'3" Taylor Cullinan, 6'2" Gabby Legister, and 6'3" Kendall Golden, again the aforementioned Vanderbilt transfer. This is a really tough Kennesaw State team. Heading into the season, you kind of circled this one, especially the one in Kennesaw for Jacksonville State, because of how last year's meeting went. It was a 71-68 win for JSU, just pulled out of here with a victory by the skin of their teeth as part of a 13-3 conference season, but now they hobble in 2-3 in conference play. Can they turn it around? You've got to do it sooner rather than later if you want to compete for an ASUN championship. Now, this is far from the only game going on in conference play this evening. We'll be keeping our eye on several other matchups in the ASUN Conference. One game currently underway, that's North Florida at Bellarmine. The Ospreys with a 10-4 lead halfway through the first quarter up in Louisville. Several other games starting here in just a moment as you hear the Owls make their way out onto the floor. Some other games starting in just a few minutes. Stetson at Liberty up in Lynchburg. Florida Gulf Coast made the trip to Charlotte. They're taking on Queens this evening. And also starting in about 10 minutes, Lipscomb at North Alabama. And then an hour from now, Austin Peay at Central Arkansas out in Conway. That is the nightcap this evening in the ASUN Conference. Again, we're here at the beautiful KSU Convocation Center here in Kennesaw, Georgia. Kennesaw State and Jacksonville State coming your way in just a bit. We're going to do this. We're going to take a timeout and come back with starters here in just a moment on the Gamecocks Sports Network. And that was the LaBelle Elementary School Choir performing the national anthem before we get underway here from the KSU Convocation Center on this Thursday night in Kennesaw, Georgia. Hello again, I'm Logan Maddox. Thanks for tuning in on the Gamecocks Sports Network. We've got Jacksonville State and Kennesaw State coming your way momentarily. Got both teams out on the floor, about to have the announcement of the starters. And first up, it'll be the Gamecocks make their way to the floor. And a bit of a different lineup from what we've seen, as Mango Mutanda will get the start for Jack State. She'll be followed out by Kyra Williams. Kiera Griffin is next up. Griffin, the junior from Birmingham. Amari Martin, the usual starter out there for JSU. And the final Gamecock making her way to the floor is Kennedy Gavin. So the usual starter not getting the start tonight, Shantae Shaw. Hope that she is okay. See her standing in the huddle right now. She's dressed out. Maybe she'll be able to play for Jack State in this game. But as of now, doesn't look like she'll be getting the start at least. Instead, starting in her place will be Mango Mutanda, the junior college transfer and native of Minneapolis, Minnesota. She's had a productive start to her career as a Gamecock, and tonight here in Kennesaw making her first career start. About to have the starters for Kennesaw State make their way out onto the floor. I would also like to mention the Jacksonville State coaching staff. 10th year head coach Rick Petrie. He's helped out by 10th year assistant coaches Eric Wise and Altherius Wormley. And second year assistant Raven Wright. Also first year graduate assistant Harley Cook. About to have the starters for Kennesaw State. Just finished up their intro video here at the Convocation Center, and they gave a big hooty hoo at the end of it. Get loud for the starting round, Kennesaw State! And the junior from Atlanta, Georgia, #1, Harley Hooks, the sharp shooter, the sophomore from Atlanta, the transfer from East Tennessee State getting the start. Stacey Jones will follow her, the 6'1" forward from Kathleen, Georgia. Jashay Whitfield next up. No surprise she gets a start, maybe the superstar of this Kennesaw State team. Lindsay Wilby, the grad transfer from Purdue. Another super talented player that could possibly be looking at maybe some postseason awards this season. And then the final starter out there for Kennesaw State is Amani Johnson. Octavia Blue in her second year as head coach of the Owls. She's helped out by assistant coaches Malika Willis, Noelle Cobb, and Drew Landers. Got your starting five for JSU, your starting five for Kennesaw State. Both teams in the huddle before they make their way out onto the court here at the Convocation Center on the campus of Kennesaw State University. Jacksonville State wearing their red unis for this one. It's got Jacksonville State in white letters and numbers on the front. Black trim around those letters and numbers. Kennesaw State in their home white unis. It's got black letters and numbers with yellow trim around it. The Kennesaw State KS secondary logo on the front. Jumping at the line, Kiera Griffin, and instead it's going to be won by Stacey Jones, the 6'1" Owl. And Kennesaw State has it as we're underway. They're moving left to right to start this one. They'll pass it on the outside to Amani Johnson, has it on the right wing. Top of the key, she swings it to Stacey Jones. Now to the left side, this is Jashay Whitfield. Down low, it's Whitfield, and she hits a runner. Whitfield goes up against Kyra Williams, a talented defender, but the Owl gets the points. It's 2-0 Kennesaw State to start this one. JSU just gets it past half court. It's Kyra Williams who was trapped, gives it off to Mutanda to the low post. This is Kennedy Gavin driving, and she loses her footing, loses the ball out of bounds. And let's see, does it stay with Jack State? No, it's going to be over to Kennesaw State. And now they overturn it late. It's going to be a foul on Stacy Jones. Was not sure if that was simply going to be out of bounds, and instead they'll say that Jones tripped up Kennedy Gavin. So JSU will get the ball back just underneath their goal. It'll be Amari Martin to pass it in. She gives it on the right wing to Kyra Williams. The Jacksonville native flares one top the key to Amari Martin. She'll drive it into the paint. Now passes back outside to an open Mutanda on the wing. 10 on the shot clock. This is Griffin straight away. She'll drive the right side. Stops at the elbow. Lobs back outside to Kyra Williams at the free throw line. To the corner. Mutanda puts up a prayer, and it's answered. Mango Mutanda from the left corner puts Jack State on top 3-2. And a good way to start your first, or to begin your first start as a Gamecock. Knocks down a three to give JSU an early lead, but a response right away from Whitfield. She's got 4 points, and it's a 4-3 advantage for Kennesaw State after that mid-range jumper. Owls pressing a bit as JSU gets it past the timeline. It's Kyra Williams. The fifth-year guard will hand it off to Martin. Now to Griffin to the left side. Kiera Griffin gets a screen from Gavin, kicks it in the corner to Mutanda. She'll drive this time. The layup from Mango doesn't get the friendly roll, and it's rebounded by the tall Stacy Jones. Mango nearly had the board, but tipped up a second time by Jones, and she got it. Shot in transition, missed that time by Amani Johnson. Rebound goes to Jack State. Mango to the right side. It's Amari Martin. She'll drive, tries a floater, blocked from behind, rebounded by Gavin, put back, won't go. And then a foul going for the rebound against Jacksonville State. And that will be charged against Kennedy Gavin. First foul against the graduate forward from Petal, Mississippi. Kennesaw State will take back over, leading 4-3, 2 minutes into this one. Would like to clarify, Shantae Shaw not dressed out for this game, so we hope that she's going to be able to come back and compete in Saturday's game back at the Pete's. Kennesaw State with it. They go to the low post again as Stacy Jones. Her layup is good. Banks it off the backboard, and it's a 6-3 advantage for KSU. JSU with it. Brooklyn McDaniel, the freshman, checks in. Passes to Martin, now back to McDaniel. We're past the timeline. Amari with it. Top of the key. She'll dribble to the right wing. Passes to Griffin, now to the left side. It's Brooklyn. McDaniel takes it to the free throw line. She'll stop and she'll travel. Drug her pivot foot ever so slightly. The official saw it, and the Owls will get the ball back. Nice crowd here at the KSU Convocation Center. The Kennesaw State band out in full force, making a ton of noise. Speaking of, cannot wait to be back at the Pete on Saturday. We'll have hardcore in the building. JSU's pep band, very spirited group. Always great to have them cheering on the Gamecocks. Kennesaw State will draw a shooting foul. They give it to number 15, Jashay Whitfield. And the Winthrop transfer gets another scoring opportunity, this time at the charity stripe. JSU down by 3, and Jashay Whitfield trying to make it a 2-possession lead for the first time. The 5'11" guard knocks home the first free throw after that foul by Brooklyn McDaniel. It's 7-3 Owls. Second from Whitfield. Off to the left. 8-3 lead for Kennesaw State now. 7 minutes to go in the first period. JSU again being pressed, taking it up the floor. Amari Martin down the floor. This is Mutanda, long two. Mango gets another. She'll cut it back down to a 3-point deficit. It's 8-5. Mango Mutanda with all 5 of Jacksonville State's points. Johnson to the free throw line. Back outside. It's Wilby from long range. And Lindsay Wilby hits one from the right wing. Just like that, it's a 6-point game, 11-5. Gamecocks need a response in a big way here. It's Amari Martin. She'll dribble to the right side. Passes to Kiera Griffin back to the left. Here's McDaniel, the Cleburne County product. Asks for a screen, doesn't get it. She'll drive it herself. Passes at the last moment to Mango. Another 3. This one's got too much on it. And a foul going for the rebound. This will be against Kiera Griffin. Kiera vehemently disagreeing with that call, but to no avail. She'll head to the sideline. Madison McCoy checks in for her. Lindsay Wilby comes out. Checking in for her is Kiara Berry. Also looks like number 22 in there, Kendall Golden for Kennesaw State. They give it to Kiara Berry, and she drives it right to the lane. Layup is good. Took it to the hoop that time, simply put, and it was an easy make for the Rockmart, Georgia native. 13-5 your score, about 4 minutes into this one. Madison McCoy will break the passes to Martin. Floater banks in, does Amari Martin, and it's 13-7. 5.5 to go here in the opening period. It's Hooks underneath the basket. Tries a shot off the glass, and she'll draw a shooting foul. Carly Hooks will head to the charity stripe. And Coach Petrie yelling from across the floor. All that'll do is rile up the Kennesaw State band a bit. It'll send Carly Hooks to the free throw line. The East Tennessee State transfer, now a stoppage of play. And the official saying something to the scorer's table. It's going to be 2 shots coming up for Carly Hooks. Amani Johnson will check out. Checking in is Braylon Snipes, junior guard for Kennesaw State. First couple of free throws for Carly Hooks. First one is good. Back to a 7-point game in favor of the home team, Kennesaw State. 5:33 to go in the period. The second free throw from Hooks rattles around and goes down. It's an 8-point lead for KSU. JSU's got to find a way to break this press. They give it to Amari Martin. Kennesaw State backs off a bit, and she throws it away off of an owl and out of bounds, though. They laid off the press, and then right when she got to the Kennesaw State logo, double-teamed her. She threw it down the floor, but luckily for JSU, it was deflected out of bounds by Carly Hooks. On the inbounds pass, though, JSU deflects it out of bounds, trying to get it to Mango Mutanda at the baseline. The Owls will get the ball back, and McDaniel will take a seat. Kyra Williams comes in. JSU has lost 3 of their last 4 games in conference play. Something has got to change for Jack State, and sooner rather than later, that'll help. Kiara Berry made a shot just a moment ago. This time she drives against Kyra Williams, and it's blocked out of bounds by the 5th-year guard. Carly Hooks to check it in underneath the basket. Looking for an open teammate. It'll go high into Berry, jumper, and that one's off to the right. Rebound controlled by Kennedy Gavin. Down the floor quickly to Madison McCoy. Beat the defender. Layup won't go. Oh, that's just unlucky. Had a wide open look, and it's rebounded by Kennesaw State. Over to Carly Hooks. She'll spin around at the wing, hand it off. This is going to be a 3-pointer, and Kennesaw State's got too much on it. That was a miss by Snipes. Falls to Amari Martin. Amari thinking about going coast to coast. She'll kick it in the corner to Mango. Mutanda drives in, and she will draw a shooting foul. And when we come back from the media timeout, it'll be 2 free ones for Masingo Mutanda. But with 4:42 to go in the first period, JSU trails at 15-7 here on the Gamecock Sports Network. Be back with more in just a moment here on YouTube. welcome you back to the KSU Convocation Center here on the campus of Kennesaw State University. Jacksonville State women's basketball here on the Gamecocks Sports Network. Out of the first media timeout, JSU trails Kennesaw State 15-7, 4:42 to go in the first period. But a couple of free ones for Masingo Mutanda. She's got 5 of Jack State's 7. Her first free throw is no good. Hit off the front of the rim, rolled to the back, and fell off to the left. She'll try to make it a 7-point game if she can hit this one. The second one from the Minneapolis native is good. 1 for 2 that trip. It's 15-8. So far, Kennesaw State 5 of 9 from the field, 57% shooting. JSU's allowed far too many looks down low against a much taller Owls squad. Trying to get a hand in the face here. That time it's Madison McCoy. Got her hand on a pass and threw it off of Kennesaw State's Princess Harden, and JSU will have it. They throw it into Amari Martin, trapped immediately. Ahead to Madison McCoy, now to Kyra Williams. Kyra throws it right to Harden, and the Owls take back over. Harden loses it over to Madison McCoy, down the floor to Kennedy Gavin. Beats the defense, fakes a shot. Layup around the other end is good. And Kennedy Gavin has her first points of the evening. It's 15-10. She's got to have these open looks on offense, these high percentage shots. Trying too many threes to this point already. Too many shots from deep that haven't gone their way. Kennesaw State lobs it down low. This is Jones back outside to Johnson. Open three and airballed. It's caught by Harden down low. The putback won't go. Tip, she gets another rebound, throws it away as she falls down, and it's caught by Kennedy Gavin. Jack State gets it back. Over to Amari Martin down the right sideline. In the corner, this is McCoy. To the opposite corner to Kyra Williams. Now to the elbow, a jumper from Gavin. That one off to the right. Good ball movement that time from JSU. The shot simply did not fall. And Kennesaw State gets it back. Amani Johnson, the league's leader in minutes played. Minutes played per game. She has it on the right wing. Product of East Allegheny High School in Pennsylvania. She'll drive in the paint. Kicks in the corner. This is Berry, a three. Kiara Berry hits one from the left corner. It's 18-10. Kiara Berry, the transfer from Indiana, played her high school ball down the road in Rockmart, Georgia. Amari Martin passes to Kyra Williams now at the baseline. This is Gavin. JSU gets an open Amari Martin. Three-pointer in and out, and rebounded by Kennesaw State. Mutanda collided with Gavin, otherwise maybe a putback for Kennedy. This is Jashay Whitfield, drives into the belly of Kyra Williams, misses her shot, nothing called, gets a rebound, and the putback is good. Kyra Williams falls to the deck that time, no charge called, no block called either, and it's a 20-10 lead, a 5-0 run for Kennesaw State. They're going to get Kiara Berry reaching in at midcourt. Jacksonville State will be able to pass it in. That's the third team foul on Kennesaw State with 2:15 to go in the period. Brianna Rhodes comes in for Jack State. Kennedy Gavin will take a seat. A couple subs checking in for Kennesaw State as well. Lindsay will be back in there. Looks like Carly Hook's also back in there. Amari Martin, top of the key to Brianna Rhodes. A handoff on the left wing to Kyra Williams. Kyra will try her luck with a layup and again just doesn't get the roll. Rebound and putback won't go for Rhodes, and Kennesaw State will get it. JSU doing a good job getting offensive rebounds, just can't make the shots right now. It's kind of been the story of this season. Johnson finds Stacey Jones down low. The layup missed. Way too much on it. Caught by Amari Martin. Martin down the right side, layup, won't go, tipped and rebounded again by Kennesaw State. That's Jones, tallest player on the floor. She throws one down the floor and it's out of bounds off of Carly Hooks. A little bit of contact as that one made its way to Hooks. Mutanda covering her like a defensive back. We won't call that pass interference. It'll just be out of bounds and Jacksonville State will get it. Madison McCoy, the Knoxville, Tennessee native, she'll throw it in to Amari Martin. Ahead to Kyra Williams, still trying to find an answer against this press. They'll get it past midcourt this time. Martin, the Wallace State Community College transfer, fakes a drive to the left, takes it to the right, and it is blocked way out of there. They hit that one halfway to Sewanee. Kennesaw State gets it, throws it down to Carly Hooks to a wide open owl. The layup is easily in there. Gabby Legister, the 6'2" center, was left unguarded for just a moment, and that's all the time she needed. 22-10 Kennesaw State. And now a stoppage of play as Amari Martin comes up limping.
Please welcome back to the court for Rallies, number 21, Kiara Berry.
Kiara Berry will check in for Kennesaw State. As for JSU, is Brooklyn McDaniel, and immediately nearly a turnover, tipped, but it goes right to Madison McCoy. McCoy down the center of the lane, and she's going to get called for a charge. Gabby Legister had her feet set right underneath the basket. That's just easy for the defender. Kennesaw State takes back over, up by 12 late in the first period. This is Amani Johnson on the right side. Fakes a pass, she'll give it in the corner. This is Hooks, no look pass to Legister, driving against Rhodes, and a foul against Brianna Rhodes. That'll send Legister to the free throw line. That'll put Kennesaw State in the bonus for the final 41 and change here in the opening period. Also, we'll take a look at the JSU men's game. They're in action right now on WLJS if you want to catch that one, as the free throw is good from Legister. Jacksonville State trailing 14-12 as they reach the under 12 media timeout at Florida Gulf Coast. Second free throw from Legister also knocked home. 2 for 2 is the senior. 24-10 lead for Kennesaw State. Jack State back with it. This is Brooklyn McDaniel. Gives to Mango Mutanda right at the Kennesaw State logo. She'll take it to the right wing, back to the left. 10-second difference between the shot and game clocks. Maddie McCoy in the corner. Backs it up to McDaniel. Top of the key, this is Mutanda. Tries another long ball, and she hits it again. She's been one of the lone bright spots for the JSU offense. 9 points for Mango, and it's 24-13. Kennesaw State with it for the final 10 seconds. Carly Hooks drives inside, loses her footing, and that's a charge. I think that time she slipped and drove right into Kyra Williams. I think Kyra was trying to draw a charge that time. It's just how it played out, but we'll take it. 6.2 to go in the first period. JSU will get it back. McCoy throws it in to McDaniel. She's trapped. 4 seconds to play. Over to Maddie McCoy. Ahead to Kyra Williams, and the clock will run out here in the first period. A first period to forget for JSU. They allow 8 made field goals by Kennesaw State, and the Owls lead it 24-13 as we head to the second here on the Gamecock Sports Network. Stay with us here on YouTube. We are back here at Kennesaw State University. A commanding lead through one for KSU. The Owls on top of Jacksonville State, 24-13. Gamecocks will have it to start the second period. Kiera Griffin throws it into Mango Mutanda. We're underway. Brianna Rhodes hands it off to Brooklyn McDaniel down the right side. Stops at the edge of the paint. She'll spin around again. She's trapped. Throws it away. Gets it tipped. She gets the ball back. Almost a travel for Brooklyn. Top of the key, it's Griffin. Three-pointer, and that one just off to the left. Gets the offensive board. Does McDaniel. Jumper off the backboard won't go. And Kennesaw State comes away with it. Gamecocks cannot buy a basket at times, it seems. They've been doing their job underneath. Eventually, you got to think these shots will fall. Shot missed on the other end by Kennesaw State. They missed the putback off the front of the rim. Both of those attempts by Snipes. Rebounded by Brianna Rhodes. Maury Martin not back with the bench yet for Jacksonville State. Hope that she'll be okay. Kiera Griffin at the elbow for the Gamecocks. Outside to a wide open Kyra Williams. Three ball. That's off the iron and out of bounds. KSU will get it. Gamecocks shooting just 29% so far from the field. 2 of 5 from deep. The leading scorer, Masingo Mutanda, with 9 points in that first period. She'll walk to the bench. A well-deserved breather, Evangelia Davlaku, the freshman from Athens, Greece, comes in. Played her high school ball at Luella High School in the metro Atlanta area. Owls with it on the left wing. This is Wilby, three-pointer, and that one won't go. Rebound caught by Davlaku. Davlaku grew up in Greece, moved around high school age to come to America, spent 1 year in Charlotte, North Carolina, then played her last 2 high school years in Atlanta. She'll get a pass in the corner, three-pointer, too much on it. Tipped out of bounds by Kennesaw State. Gabby Legister got a piece of that one. Otherwise, would have been going the other way. 8:28 to go until halftime. 24-13 lead for Kennesaw State here on their home floor. Rhodes out, Kennedy Gavin in. Legister out for Kennesaw State. Stacy Jones back in there. The 6'1" junior. Davlaku gives it into Gavin, a handoff back to Evangelia. At the free throw line to the right side in the corner, it's Kyra Williams. Kyra drives, stops, pops, gives it back outside to Davlaku for a long two. No. It goes to Stacy Jones, who just came in. Monty Johnson with it straight away. She'll get around a screen, open look, long two. That one off the rim, tipped out of bounds by Kennedy Gavin. Kennedy trying to say it's a foul on the floor, but won't get it. And Kennesaw State will throw it in underneath the basket. Dominant start for this Owls offense. Shot north of 40% in the first period. No points for either side through the first 2 minutes of the second. That may change here. Kennesaw State, they give it to Wilby. She had positioning for just a moment before Kennedy Gavin came to help Kiera Griffin, but a foul will be called. That'll be on Griffin. Second foul on Kiera, and Key may be taking a seat for the rest of the half. Kiera Griffin checks out. Madison McCoy comes in for Jack State. 2 free throws for Wilby. First one from the graduate guard is good. Another player on this Owls team local to Kennesaw. She's from just down the road in Powder Springs. The 5'11" guard with her second free throw. That one also finds nylon. 26-13. Kennesaw State doubling up JSU right now. Gillian Piccolino, the senior guard from Pittsburgh, comes in for Kennesaw State. The 5'10" lengthy guard. She's defending and pressing right away. JSU breaks that press. It's Brooklyn McDaniel, gets a pass down the floor. Double pump layup, no. Rebound tipped away, and the Owls will get it. Picked up near midcourt by Breland Snipes. In the corner, open look, don't try a three. It's Whitfield driving in for a higher percentage look. She makes it. You see a sea of red jerseys, then one white jersey, lifting up above the rest and making the shot. 28-13. Gamecocks got to get it up the floor. It's Evangelia Davlaku. Nearly a carry. She'll try to throw it off an Owl, and it stays in bounds. And then a foul on Davlaku as she tried to get the ball back. Tried to get a little fancy that time and keep it with the Gamecocks, but the Owls weren't to be fooled. And Piccolino will throw it in for Kennesaw State. Gotta say, impressed with the job that Octavia Blue has done with this Owls team. Just her second year, went 9-19 last year, right now 7-9, but you can tell the future is very bright for this program as Jashay Whitfield is fouled putting up a shot. Another trip to the line for Kennesaw State. They have lived at the free throw line, and they have made every one so far, 8 for 8. That'll send Jashay Whitfield, the Sumter, South Carolina native, back to the line. She's 2 for 2 so far, game high 10 points. And the first one, beautiful arcing shot that makes its way in to make it a 16-point lead. The second one from Whitfield, former Winthrop Eagle. She hits both of them, and Kennesaw State off to a 10 for 10 start from the charity stripe. Amari Martin, back in the game for JSU. She'll break the press on the left wing. Good to see her back in there. Has it straight away now, looking to her right, trying to motion this offense a bit. Defender right in her face, gets a screen from Kennedy Gavin. Passes straight away to McCoy, now to the right side, it's Mutanda. 10 on the shot clock. At the baseline, Mutanda, left-handed shot won't go. Tipped, rebounded by Kennesaw State's Piccolino. Over to Amani Johnson, she's trapped. Goes inside, knocked away by Gavin, but right to Johnson. KSU still with it. 16 on the shot clock for the Owls. Gets a screen, goes to the right wing. Top of the key, Piccolino. Madison McCoy guarding her. To the left side, hands it off. This is Whitfield. Has it at the three-point line. 5 seconds on the shot. Gets a screen, gets around Gavin. Passes down low, shot off the glass, good. You heard the man. Stacey Jones banks it home. It's 32-13. It's an 8-0 run to start the second period for Kennesaw State. Gamecocks have got to get something. How about a three from Amari Martin? No, that's off the rim. That one's going to roll. No, caught by Mutanda in the corner. Back to Amari. Layup, not enough on it. Kennesaw State will get it back. Down the floor, wide open layup for Whitfield, 34-13. And Rick Petrie may have seen enough. And he has. He'll call timeout. We'll take it with him. 5:35 to go until halftime. A 21-point lead for Kennesaw State. They're on a 10-0 scoring run to start the second period. We'll step aside and come back with more in just a minute here on the Gamecock Sports Network. And we welcome you back to the KSU Convocation Center here in Kennesaw, Georgia. A commanding lead for the Owls. Kennesaw State on top 34-13 halfway through this second period. Jacksonville State trailed by just 11 at the end of one, but a 10-0 scoring run to start the second period for Kennesaw State has broken this thing wide open. And all Jack State can do is try to make some shots here, just try to be a bit more competitive, because you cannot just lay down and give up in this one. Very important ASUN Conference affair. Masingo Mutanda has it in the corner. She'll drive inside, kick it to Kennedy Gavin, and the floater's good. Great pass that time by Mutanda. She drew in the defense, got it to an open Gavin. And JSU has their first points of the second period. It's 34-15. Owls have it, driving layup. That one's off to the right. Rebound putback won't go. And it's going to be rebounded finally by Mutanda. Looks like a foul going for the rebound. And that'll be a reaching in against Lindsay Wilby. That is the first team foul of the second period for Kennesaw State. They have played about as good as you can hope for to start the second period. Now can the Gamecocks come back? It's going to be a turnover maybe, or a timeout. Let's see. Stoppage of play on the other end against Octavia Blue. She might have accidentally stepped on the line. Perhaps just a warning. Either way, Jack State will check it in just past half court. Masingo Mutanda getting her first start as a Gamecock. Now a bit of discussion between Coach Petrie and the head official. They'll check it into Mutanda, and we're good to go. Mango with a team-high 9 points, only being outdone by Kennesaw State's Jashay Whitfield. Shaquise May in the game, passes to Kennedy Gavin, spin around in the lane, layup is good, count the basket, and a foul. Nice play from Ken, and Kennedy Gavin will head to the free throw line. 34-17 your score. A chance for a three-point play for the graduate forward. Kennedy has had a ridiculous last few weeks for Jacksonville State, just double-double after double-double for the Southern Miss transfer. Has posted career highs in points, almost had a career high in rebounds Saturday in Nashville. Had 12 points and 12 rebounds and 19 points, for career high 13. Free throw won't go, rebounded by Kennesaw State, pulled down by Wilby. Amani Johnson gets a pass down the floor, back to Wilby. Long two from the guard, that one off the iron, rebounded by Shaquise May. The Conyers, Georgia native, hands it off to Amari Martin. Got injured earlier but came back in the game. Mutanda now to Gavin, fakes a shot. She'll loop around, stands at the ASUN logo. 15-foot jumper is knocked home. Kennedy Gavin. Out of nowhere, she's got 5 consecutive points. It's 34-19. Gavin up to 8 points in this game. JSU on a 6-0 run since that timeout. Amani Johnson on the right side for Kennesaw State. She'll get a screen from Golden. Thought of a pass back. Instead, she'll kick it to the corner. This is Whitfield. Down low they go. That's Kendall Golden. And the former Vanderbilt Commodore with a layup off the backboard, 36-19. Just a pretty offense run so far by the Owls. Martin with it, the preseason All-ASUN selection. Has it on the right wing. Cuts to the left side. It gives it off to May. Three-pointer, that one well short. Rebounded by Madison McCoy, however. Put back blocked by Golden. Back over to Maddie. Hands it off to Mutanda. Now to a wide open Amari. Three-pointer, no. It's off to the left. And a foul going for the rebound against Jack State. They'll call a push on Shaquise May. Saw an Owl fall to the floor. That's an easy one to tag against the sophomore from Rockdale County. Kennesaw State will throw it in with 3:27 to go here in the first half. They lead it still big. It's 36-19. We'll be looking to her left. It's Stacy Jones. Gets a screen. Gets around Kennedy Gavin to the right corner. Open teammate is Carly Hooks, and she traveled. Hooks couldn't mix in a dribble that time, and JSU will take over. A rare turnover by Kennesaw State, just their 4th of this game. Martin will have it. She gets it a quarter of their way down the floor. Owls still pressing. They've had a lot of success doing so. Back to Martin. And we're past the timeline. Amari with 17 on the shot clock. She'll drive to the right. Pass to Mutanda on the wing. Mango, very productive first half. She'll spin around at the free throw line. Outside to May. Three-pointer for Queese. It's good. That one went all the way around the hoop and went down. Shaquise May with her first basket, 36-22. Got to get another stop here. They go down low. This is Stacy Jones in the corner, wide open. Hooks, three-pointer, and a response. My goodness, Carly Hooks. Beautiful, beautiful shot. Got to credit those points. I mean, a big assist that time for Stacy Jones. Her presence inside drew every defender in and left Hooks unguarded. Kennedy Gavin with it, spins around in the paint. The layup rolls off the rim. Unlucky night shooting for the Gamecocks all around. Rebound goes to the Owls. This is Jones, hoop to hoop. Rather, that's Jashay Whitfield. And Whitfield makes it 41-22. Back to a 19-point advantage for the Owls. May down the left sideline to Gavin. To the right wing, Amari now in the corner to Mutanda. Mango fakes the shot, drives inside, layup, no. Rebounded by nobody. Kennesaw State will pick it off the floor. Lost momentarily by Wilby. She'll pick it back up. Owls will calm it down a bit. They lead at 41-22, 95 seconds to play here in the first half. Amani Johnson, the Pennsylvania native, on the left wing. Passes top of the key to Wilby. She's guarded tightly by McCoy. Now outside to Whitfield. Jashay Whitfield, the Winthrop transfer. Around two defenders, jumper at the charity stripe, off the back of the rim. She gets her own rebound beyond the three-point line. Shot clock resets for the Owls. Minute 9 to go. Here in the second period, flares one to Wilby on the right side. Wilby double teamed. Over to Amani Johnson. Johnson trapped, goes down low. This is Jones. Jumper over Gavin, no good. Rebounded by May, and the Gamecocks take back over. 50 seconds to play here in the first half. Definitely some adjustments to be made by Petrie and the staff when they make their way to the locker room. May to the elbow. This is Kennedy Gavin. She'll try a jumper, and she knocks it down over Stacy Jones. And Kennedy Gavin, the first Gamecock to double digits in points. She's got 10, 41-24. Gavin and Mutanda have combined for 19 of Jacksonville State's 24 points. 4-second difference between the shot and game clocks. The Owls likely hold off for a last-second look, at least on the shot clock. It's Johnson, top of the key. Passes over to Wilby, tries a deep three, and she kills it. What a shot by Wilby. Gamecocks will pass it into Amari Martin. A long heave for 5, and that one's short. That'll take us to halftime. Lindsay Wilby with a three-pointer. As the clock runs down, she makes it a 20-point game. It's 44-24 as we head to halftime. My goodness, what a first half for Kennesaw State. They shoot 45%. They knock down 15 field goals, including 4 threes, and they lead it by 20 here at halftime. We'll do this. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back with some halftime stats and analysis. And then we'll look at some scores of other games across the conference, including the Jacksonville State men on the road at Florida Gulf Coast. We'll see you in just a minute. Stay with us here on the Gamecock Sports Network. Your score at halftime, Kennesaw State 44, Jacksonville State 24. We're back here at Kennesaw State University. Got some halftime games going on at the floor here at the KSU Convocation Center. It's a commanding lead for the Owls here at the break, 44-24. Kennesaw State outscored JSU 24-13 in the first period. Continued to outscore them in the second period. Went up 10-0 in that second period just alone, you know, on that 10-0 run. From that point on, JSU outscored them 11-10, which is good, but when you're already down by 20 points, got to outscore them a bit more than that. Really, honestly and truthfully, the Gamecocks have had some bad luck in this game. There have been a handful of bad looks, but there have been plenty of high percentage shots that Jack State has taken on offense that have just fallen off the rim, that, you know, have been partially deflected by a much taller Owl, and it just has not gone in. That's going to happen to you, and it's just going to make you that much more frustrated when the other team is hitting miraculous shots and getting consistently open looks. And part of that is just luck on Kennesaw State's part. The other part of that, the open looks, is telling you that something's got to change defensively. Got to give credit to the Owls, though. They have come in with a nice game plan to limit opportunities for Jacksonville State. JSU did a good job of, you know, putting up those shots when they had them, the open looks, you know, having just enough space to try an opportunity. But, you know, Kennesaw State, beyond that, they forced plenty of turnovers. Their press has led to plenty of success as well. They forced 5 turnovers against a Gamecock offense that, you know, is top 25 nationally in turnovers per game. They've already had 5 turnovers in the first half, the same amount as the Owls, which is not something we're used to seeing for Jacksonville State. Conversely, for the JSU defense, as we mentioned, got to find a way to just slow down, I'd say, this Owl offense. I mean, they're shooting the lights out. 45% from the field, 15 of 33. They've hit 4 of their 7 three-pointers. They're 10 for 10 at the line. We knew coming in this was a disciplined team shooting the ball, but they have impressed us beyond any metric that, you know, beyond any assumption we could have had of what they would have done. Kennesaw State has shown up and shown out in this game, and they've got a raucous crowd behind them. It's a lot of work to be done. Can Petrie and the staff make some adjustments to get Jack State back in this game? We'll have to see. Looking at scoring, we'll start out with the Gamecocks. Leading scorer is Kennedy Gavin. The graduate forward from Petal, Mississippi, has 10 points and 2 rebounds so far in this game. Mango Mutanda with 9 points, all 9 of those coming in the first quarter. She helped JSU stay competitive for much of that first period. She has 3 rebounds and 2 assists as well. 3 points for Shaquise May, couple of rebounds, 2 assists for Queese, then 2 points for Amari Martin, and 2 rebounds for the 5th-year guard as well. No points, but 2 rebounds for Madison McCoy, no points, and 2 rebounds for Brianna Rhodes. Kiera Griffin, a starter for the Gamecocks, played just 6 minutes in that first half, got into some foul trouble. It'll be good to have her back in the second half. And JSU without Nakia Thompson and without Shantae Shaw in this game, that's definitely hurt, but you can't sit back and say, well, that's why JSU's losing right now. The reason they're losing at the half is because they have let Kennesaw State hit 15 of their shots in the first 20 minutes. Speaking of Kennesaw State, the leading scorer for them and in this game is Jashay Whitfield. She's got 16 points and 4 rebounds, also 2 assists. What a start for Whitfield in this game. 8 points for Lindsay Wilby, 2 rebounds as well for the 5'11" transfer from Purdue. 5 points each for Kiara Berry and Carly Hooks. Hooks with 1 assist. 4 points for Gabby Legister. Legister, the tall center, played just 3 minutes but had a couple of free throws made and a made shot as well. And then 2 points for Golden in the first half, 1 rebound for her. Snipes had no points but 3 rebounds. No points for Princess Harden. She's got 3 rebounds. And then 1 board for Amani Johnson. 4 assists for the floor general. 1 rebound in the first half for Piccolino. As for the Gamecocks, who maybe didn't get into the stat sheet, Brooklyn McDaniel played 6 minutes in the first half. 2 minutes played for Evangelia Davlaku. Gamecocks essentially emptying their bench in the first half, hoping that, you know, could help them out, getting some fresh legs in there. At times it did, but we're going to need a lot more of that if the Gamecocks are to come back, because they trail it here at the half, 44-24. We'll take another 3-minute timeout here on the Gamecock Sports Network. We'll be back in just a minute. We'll look at some halftime scores including the men taking on Florida Gulf Coast this evening. They trail at the half, but it's anybody's ball game. We'll talk about that and more in just a second here on YouTube. And welcome back to the Gamecocks Sports Network. Halftime here in Kennesaw. Kennesaw State on top of Jacksonville State, 44-24. Big lead at the break for the home team here at the KSU Convocation Center. Before we headed out, before we went to the break, mentioned that we take a look at some other games going on in the ASUN Conference. We'll start out with the Jacksonville State men on the road down in Fort Myers, Florida, taking on Florida Gulf Coast down at Dunk City. And it's a close game at halftime. Gamecocks trailing 29-25. But how about this? Out-rebounding FGCU 22-11. Shot just 1 of 7 from deep to the Gamecocks. We'll see if they can heat up from long range, as the rebounding has been a problem for the Eagles, no doubt, in that first half. Surely the shots will fall eventually for the Gamecocks on the men's side. As for other games on the women's side in the ASUN Conference, one game already in the second half. That's North Florida at Bellarmine. They got a good one going on in Louisville. Bellarmine leading 38-36 over the Ospreys. 2 minutes and change left in the third quarter. A couple of other halftime scores in the conference right now. It's Liberty on top of Stetson, 33-22 up in Virginia. FGCU with a commanding 56-23 lead on the road at Queens. And a good one in Florence. North Alabama leads Lipscomb 30-29. One other game will tip off in just a couple of minutes out in Conway, Arkansas. The Sugar Bears of Central Arkansas playing host to Austin Peay in that game starting at 7 p.m. Central Time. And in this one, it's 44-24. Kennesaw State on top of Jacksonville State. Once again, I want to say a big thank you to everybody for tuning in on this Thursday night here in Cobb County, Georgia. I mentioned it at the top of the broadcast. Beautiful gym here at the Convocation Center. It's in a building that also hosts classes here at Kennesaw State University. Beautiful campus, you know, nice part of Metro Atlanta, very affluent area, a lot of stuff to do for college kids and really anybody of any age. And this gym, while it may not be the largest gym you've ever seen for Kennesaw State's size, I think it's perfect for them. And it's got an intimate feel with how small it is. When you make noise, when you have the band in here, it echoes across the Convocation Center, and it creates a better game day atmosphere. And Kennesaw State, all I can say is, you knew what you were doing when you made the Convocation Center. They did a great job with it. It's been a fun place to catch a game. We came here for volleyball in the fall. It was rocking for that. It's even more rocking for this basketball contest. Jack State, Kennesaw State, the Owls looking for their 4th win in 5 games. JSU trying to avoid dropping their 3rd straight. They got a lot of work to do to achieve that. Down 20 here at the break. We'll come back in just a moment with the start of the second half here on the Gamecocks Sports Network. And that was quick. We're back. Set to start the 3rd period of play here in Kennesaw. The Owls have it to start the second half. It's Stacy Jones trying to get a pass down low. Back outside, they go to Whitfield on the wing. She's guarded by Kyra Williams. Gets a screen from Jones. Back to the left side. 15 on the shot clock. Hand off to Wilby. Now on the right wing, back to Amani Johnson. Johnson, the floor general, will attack. Takes it in the lane. Layup with the left hand. Rolls in. Got the right spin on it that time, and Kennesaw State extends their lead. The biggest advantage of this game for the Owls, 46-24. Amari Martin for the Gamecocks gets it past half court. She holds it at the edge of the Kennesaw State logo. Darts to the left wing, bounces one to Kennedy Gavin at the key. Gavin goes to the left, passes right off the hand of an Owl, and it's stolen. Poor play, but fortunately Kennesaw State will turn it over. They throw it to Mutanda down the floor. Mango ahead to Kennedy Gavin and now to Amari Martin. So at least the deficit did not grow on that mistake, a rare one from Gavin. Kennedy in the paint. She'll step back at the elbow, try a mid-range jumper, and that one's off the front of the iron. Rebounded, however, by Mutanda. And an underhand toss to Kiera Griffin. Back to Amari Martin. Let's see if they change up the play here. Martin on the right wing gets a screen from Gavin, cuts to the left side. Hand off to Mutanda, goes in the lane, gives it to Gavin, tipped and stolen nearly. Gavin falls on the floor for it. That'll be a jump ball, and it'll stay with Jack State. With 2 seconds on the shot clock. Petrie changing up the play call here. Looking back at that shot here in the arena on the video board by Amani Johnson, just a beautiful layup by the senior guard. Gamecocks trying to throw it in. They lob it in high to Kyra Williams, and she will have a shot clock violation. Did not realize how low the shot clock was. She gets the inbounds pass and dribbles it out to the key. Never got a shot off, and Kennesaw State will get it back. Kennesaw State band making a ton of noise, as are the kids from a couple of elementary schools local to Kennesaw State. Student section raucous as well tonight. Owls have it as Jashay Whitfield down the right side. Jumper at the low post off the rim. Rebound taken by Mutanda. That's her 5th. Mango down the left side. Gives it to Amari Martin. Amari to the right wing. Goes back to the left. Got around a screen. To the right, this is Mutanda. To the low post, back to Gavin. Kennedy with 10 on the shot clock. Spin around jumper, and that's off to the left. Rebound taken by number 5 for Kennesaw State. That's Wilby. Wilby goes all the way down the floor to Hooks, and it's ripped away by Amari Martin. Martin takes it herself and blocked by Wilby. A big rejection by the 5'11" guard. Jack State will check it in underneath the basket.
Substitution, Hayes Lumber back in the first round, number 22, Kendall Golden.
Amari Martin with the honors, the Hazel Green Alabama native. Throws it in the corner to Mutanda, darts around a defender, floater off the rim. Taken again by Carly Hooks. Been that kind of game. Hooks around Kiara Griffin, layup good. And it's 48-24. Kyra Williams past half court. Gives to Amari Martin, who stands at the logo. JSU down by 24 points. Mutanda to Williams, swings it around to the left wing to Griffin. Kennedy Gavin with it, spins in the paint, tries to put up a shot. They'll call a shooting foul, but I think Gavin might have gotten away with the travel, as you may have heard on the crowd mic from a fan behind us. Tend to agree with his assessment. Nevertheless, we'll take it. Kennedy Gavin will head to the free throw line, where she's 0 for 1 so far. As a team, JSU just 1 for 3 at the charity stripe. The free throw from the graduate forward. Good. Threw it in off the back of the rim. 48-25, Kennesaw State leads. 7:02 to play here in the third period. Second free throw from Ken. That one off to the left, rebounded by Gabby Legister of Kennesaw State. Over to Amani Johnson, pushes it down the floor quickly. This is Whitfield on the wing. Backs it up in the corner. Throws across the floor to Wilby. She'll drive around Griffin and blocked out of bounds by Key. Good rejection there by Kiara Griffin. Another sub checking in for the Owls. Coming onto the floor, that is Kiara Berry. She'll relieve Carly Hooks. Goes into Whitfield, nearly lost it, bobbled it, but got it back. Goes down low to Golden. Ripped at, Golden back outside to Whitfield. Kyra Williams is there, step back three, in and out. This place would have erupted if she caught that. Foul going for the rebound against Kennesaw State. It's a push on Kendall Golden, and the 6'3" forward will check out. Gabby Legister, who I had incorrectly said had checked in earlier, she now comes onto the floor. I was just a bit ahead of head coach Octavia Blue. This is the Blue Out game, by the way, here at Kennesaw State in honor of their second-year head coach, Octavia Blue. She's really revitalized this program, really changed the culture here for the Owls, and got to think big things are to come for them. They'll be in the ASUN next year and then join us in the CUSA moving forward. Kennedy Gavin takes it down the floor. She'll hit a jumper in the lane. It's now 48-27. Kennedy with 13 points in this contest. Wilby with it, hands it off to Kiara Berry. Berry drives inside and a charge as she sends Mutanda to the deck. Mango comes up holding herself. That one, she's going to fill that one in the morning. Berry is a strong kid, 5'9" and stocky. Well, not stocky, but an athletic build, I should say. Came in full speed and knocked Mutanda down. Kiara Griffin open for three. She hits it, and JSU down by 18, and now timeout taken by Kennesaw State. Big tray by Key, her first make of the evening, and that'll take us to the media timeout. 5:43 to go in the third period. Jack State trails 48-30 here on the Gamecocks Sports Network. coming out of that media timeout. It's an 18-point lead for Kennesaw State, 48-30. Kennesaw State already out there on the floor. They're 5. Jacksonville State, on the other hand, still in a huddle led by head coach Rick Petrie. Mentioned that this is the 22nd meeting all time between Jack State and Kennesaw State. JSU leads in the series 13-8. That series, of course, dates back to when both teams were Division II programs. Home team has won the vast majority of these contests, and as of right now, looks like that trend may continue tonight. Gamecocks lead in Jacksonville 8-10. Kennesaw State has won 6 of the 11 previous meetings here in Cobb County, Georgia. Last meeting was back in January of last year. Almost a year ago to the day, Gamecocks won 71-68, but down by 18 in this one. Kennesaw State has a wide open three. Jashay Whitfield puts way too much on it, thankfully. It's rebounded by the Owls. Amani Johnson swings it on the wing to Wilby. She'll hand it back off to Johnson. Be a bit more patient this time with the Owls. Still have 12 on the shot clock as Johnson kicks it in the corner again for Whitfield. This time she's good. Jashay Whitfield left open 2 times on a single possession. It's not really a recipe for success for the Gamecocks. 5:05 to go here in the third period. Top of the key, it's Amari Martin, deep three, and she responds in kind, 51-33. Bit of a quiet night for Amari Martin. We've said that a few times in the last few games. Now just 2 of 10 shooting, but got 5 points. Another charge against the Kennesaw State offense. Not a ton of contact, but textbook against Jashay Whitfield. That will take us to the media timeout. 4:43 to go in the period. JSU still down 18, 51-33. We'll keep it here for this one. Take another look at the scores across the conference. Jacksonville State, not the only team going at it right now. Looking at that North Florida at Bellarmine score, they should be getting pretty late. And yes, they're an early fourth quarter score. It's 50-43. Bellarmine has come all the way back. They trailed 18-6 after one. They've outscored North Florida in the last 2 periods, 38-23. They lead at 50-43 early in the fourth period. Gracie Merkel, their 6'6" freshman, leading the way for Bellarmine in that one. Stetson at Liberty, rather. The Hatters making the trip up to Lynchburg. It's a 45-33 lead for Liberty. Liberty trying to battle back after a couple of tough losses early in conference play. They're still a team that's got to be feared in the ASUN Conference. Take a look at some other scores here in just a moment. The men in action down in Fort Myers. Jacksonville State trailing Florida Gulf Coast 33-30. They've got 15-16 to play down in South Florida. The Kennesaw State Owl mascot making his way out onto the floor. Owls and their athletic administration doing a good job of keeping the game experience nice here at the KSU Convocation Center. Highly encourage you to make it out to a game here next time Jack State comes to play Kennesaw State. That, of course, ties back into the CUSA conversation. Of course, the Gamecocks will be a member of the Conference USA next year. Kennesaw State will be a member the following year. Maybe these two teams strike up a non-conference contract for next year just to keep the rivalry series going. Usually it's a tough matchup. And this one, I mean, yeah, JSU down pretty big, but they have made the Owls fight for it. So we'll see how this one plays out. 4:43 to go in the third period. Owls out onto the floor first. Jacksonville State just about set to break their huddle. Well, the Owls are on the floor, but we've got something going on like a game on the court, so their players are having to stand around it. Once again, if you're just joining us, Jacksonville State has trailed this entire game. They took a 3-2 lead early in the contest. Outside of that, they have been down. They trailed 24-13 after one. It was a 44-24 game at halftime. Gamecocks trying to claw back. Still down big. And now we're over with the media timeout. Kiera Griffin will throw it in to Amari Martin, and we are underway out of that time. Kyra Williams over to Amari, back to Kyra. We're past the timeline. She'll give it to Amari Martin. Amari kind of running the show now that Shantae Shaw is on the sideline. We don't know how long she'll be on the sideline. We know that Nakia Thompson got banged up a bit last week in Tennessee, hoping she can come back on Saturday, but certainly don't want to rush anything this early in conference play. Three-pointer from Mutanda, no good. Rebounded by Kennedy Gavin. Putback is blocked. Ball on the floor. Mango's got it. A lot of hands on the ball, and possession will go to Kennesaw State. Mango had it directly under her. She kind of sat down to hold on to it, and in that amount of time, Kennesaw State wrapped up. Owls have it back. It's Amani Johnson running the show. She'll take it down the right side, set up shop on the wing. Griffin guarding. She'll pass it to Wilby. Wilby drives underneath against Griffin, and Kiera steals it. Kiera looking down the floor. She goes to Mutanda, one-on-one. Mutanda loses it out of bounds off Jack State. Mango furious with herself as she comes down the floor. Knew that might have been an easy two. Nevertheless, Kennesaw State taking back over. Johnson straight away. Takes it to the right side. Amari Martin covering. Top of the key, this is Jones, or Snipes rather. Now to the left corner. Wilt. Underneath, Stacy Jones driving against Gavin. Jumper off the backboard. Good. Stacy Jones with just 6 points, but 7 rebounds. She's been a force, especially on defense. Kennedy Gavin has it for the Gamecocks. Mid-range spin around jumper is knocked home. 53-35. JSU still down. Owls back with the ball. Johnson to the right side. This is Wilby. Back to the left, they go to Whitfield. Kyra Williams covering, try to get a screen, does not work. She'll just put up a three, in and out. Tipped up by Gavin and lost out of bounds. It'll be Kennesaw State basketball. Shaquise May comes back in for JSU. Princess Harden back in for KSU. Mutanda will get a breather for Jack State. Johnson trying to throw it in. She'll lob it in, caught on a high point by Princess Harden. She'll hand it off to Johnson, who tossed it into her. Kennesaw State still up by 18, 2:45 and ticking here in this third period. JSU trying to get a stop on defense. That jumper that's missed will help, but an offensive board and the putback is in for Snipes. Well, typically that'll help, but when the rebound goes right to Braylon Snipes and she has an easy lay-in, it's not going to help then. 20-point difference, 55-35. 2:20 to go here in the third period. Amari Martin passes to the right to Shaquise May. To the low post, this is Kennedy Gavin. Jumper, and it's good. Kennedy Gavin heating up again. She's got 17 points, 8 of 13 from the field. Trying to bring JSU back in this game. She's got nearly half of their points. Kennesaw State lobs left side. This is Johnson trying to get around Amari Martin. Amani Johnson back outside to Jashay Whitfield. Whitfield, long two. Off the iron, rebounded by Harden. Spin around, lay in, no, and a foul. Called a late foul as Kiera Griffin tried to reject that one, but got a piece of her hand. And that'll send Princess Harden to the free throw line, the 5'11" sophomore from Swainsboro, Georgia. Looking back at the replay, you can definitely see Kiera Griffin caught her arm. And Harden heads to the line for two. Looking to extend the lead back out. It's an 18-point game as of now. Make it a 19-point game. 56-37. Second free throw from the sophomore. And that one's in and out. Rebound taken by Maddie McCoy. Third board of the night for the junior. Over to Amari Martin. Goes to the left side. Amari, one of the best three-point shooters last season in the A-Sun. And that'll be a reach in on Braylon Snipes. And the junior out of Columbus going to stay in the game this time. It'll be Stacy Jones checking out. Gabby Legister back in there. Legister, the senior, standing 6'2". Sending Amari Martin to the free throw line, as that is the 5th team foul here in the third period. Got about 90 seconds to go in the stanza as the free throw is good for Martin. Now 6 points in the game for the 5th-year guard. Mentioned earlier, she was an all-ASUN preseason pick this year. 3rd on the team in scoring, as the rebound on the second one after it was missed, caught by Kennesaw State's Braylon Snipes. Snipes to the right side. Harden standing in front of her. Snipes gives it off to Amani Johnson. 56-38 your score. Kennesaw State out in front, minute 12 to go in the period. This is Harden, almost has it stolen by McDaniel. Gives it back outside to Snipes. 4 on the shot clock, down low to Legister, working against Gavin, lay in good. Got the perfect roll, did Legister. It's 58-38. Amari Martin goes to the left side. Holding on to it with Whitfield in front of her. About a 30-second difference between the shot and game clocks. Gavin has it tipped out of bounds. Was looking for Maddie McCoy. Instead, she got the hand of Princess Harden, product of the Emmanuel County Institute here in the Peach State. ECI, one of the best South Georgia athletic programs in single A. KSU having a call time so they can move one of their, or so they can bring out the sweeper, I guess, and get some sweat off the floor. Got the Kennesaw State band right in the ear of Amari Martin. Goes into Brooklyn McDaniel. She'll drive underneath, stop. Pass outside to Kyra Williams for 3. It's off the rim. Goes to Gabby Legister. Whitfield has it. The shot clock is off, should be off. Maybe like a half-second difference. A 0.1 second difference, maybe. Jashay Whitfield right at half court. 15 seconds to go in the third period. 20-point lead for Kennesaw State. Whitfield working against Williams. 9 seconds to go. 3-pointer off the rim. Rebound by Kennesaw State. Put back, no good on the 2. That's caught by Williams. She'll throw it up from half court, and it's going to fall short. And that'll take us to the fourth period. Kennesaw State 58, JSU 38. 10 minutes to go here at the KSU Convocation Center. We'll be back in a moment. We're back, fourth period underway here in Kennesaw, Georgia. Kennesaw State on top of Jack State, 58-38 as we start the final stanza. And right away a turnover. Amari Martin throws it to the Owls, and a charge called on Wilby. And Wilby might be as confused as I am. I mean, we're not going to argue that call. Octavia Blue, the head coach of the Owls, is having to be held back by her assistants. That time it was an immediate steal by Wilby as she took it down the floor. Amari Martin jumped in her way, and they ended up calling a charge on her. Again, we're not mad about it, but I can understand the confusion on that one. Kennedy Gavin on the left side. She throws it over to Mutanda, loses the dribble, gets it back. Madison McCoy goes inside to Kennedy Gavin in the paint. Spins around, step back jumper, money. Kennedy Gavin on fire on offense in this game. Just got to get the stops on defense. That's been the question. 19 points for Ken. It's 58-40. This is Hooks with a long two and a quick response. Tip for tat. It's been like that most of this game, but the main difference is that cold stretch in the first period, that 10-0 run to start the second period. That's why Kennesaw State's up by 18 and now 20 after that made shot, 60-40. Amari Martin on the left side, drives inside, tries a runner, that one off the rim. Rebound goes to Jashay Whitfield. Whitfield around McDaniel, layup, rolls off that time. Goes over to Brooklyn McDaniel, the freshman from Heflin. Takes it herself, layup, no, but she's fouled. A lot of contact on that shot, and Brooklyn will head to the free throw line. Coach Petrie speaking it over with the officials after that play. Two free ones for Brooklyn McDaniel. McDaniel looking for her first points. 0 for 2 from the field. First trip to the line for the 5'11" forward, and that one is good. A 60-41 ball game. 8:32 left. Second free throw from McDaniel in the air and off to the right. Rebound to Kennesaw State. Amani Johnson to the right side. Cuts back to the left. She'll hand it off. This is Hooks looping around. Carly Hooks layup. It's going to miss. Might have missed a foul, but again, we're okay with it. Rebounded by Amari Martin. Down the floor to Mutanda. 2-on-1. She'll circle around, give it off to Kennedy Gavin. Splits the defenders. Layup's good. Kennedy Gavin with 21 points, a game high. She's closing in on a personal record. It's 60-43. Owls back with it. Amani Johnson at the edge of the KS logo at midcourt. Takes it to the left side. Gives top of the key to Wilby. Now to the right side, this is Whitfield. 7:45 to go. JSU trying to climb back in this one. Monty Johnson double teamed for a moment. Left open, jumper missed. Rebounded by Maddie McCoy. Amari Martin will lead the Gamecocks down the floor this time. Amari slows down, gives outside to Mutanda. 3 for Mango, yes! A big tray for Mango. JSU's cut it to a 14-point game, and timeout is called. Octavia Blue wants to talk it over with her team. We'll give her a chance to. 7:26 to go. It's 60-46 here at the KSU Convocation Center. Be back in just a moment here on the Gamecocks Sports Network. We're back out of that media timeout at 60-46. Kennesaw State still on top, but Jack State fighting hard, trying to make this one a ball game. 7:25 to go, still plenty of time. Owls bringing up the floor. That's Hooks. She'll lob it over to Johnson, who takes it past half court. 7:15 to go on the right side. This is Whitfield. She has been money in this game, 19 points. Top of the key now to the right side, back to Wilby. McCoy in front of her. They go down low. Stacey Jones, layup blocked, but a foul. That one against Kennedy Gavin. Just a second personal on Kennedy. First team foul of the fourth period for Jack State. That sent Stacey Jones to the free throw line. Jones with 6 points, first trip to the charity stripe, and the first one's good. 61-46 your score. 7:04 to go. Second free throw from the Kathleen, Georgia native, and it's in there. 62-46, back to a 16-point deficit. McDaniel over to Amari Martin, ahead to Madison McCoy. In the corner, it's Mutanda. Jack State had numbers, but instead they slowed it down. Trying to get a better look, it's Amari Martin on the left side. Calls for a screen, goes around it. This time it's Kennedy Gavin coming up. Goes around the other side to the wing. This is Mutanda, another three. Mango with 15 points, a career high, and it's 62-49. Owls with it. This is Wilby. Drives inside, layup, rolls in. Got past Brooklyn McDaniel that time. 64-49. This is Kennedy Gavin on the sideline, nearly stepped out. Over to Amari Martin. Now to the left side, it's McDaniel. Brooklyn spins inside, stops. Has to underhand toss it to Gavin. Just inside the three-point line. Here's Madison McCoy, layup good. Threw that one off the backboard, and it's 64-51. First make of the evening for Maddie. Whitfield trying to spark this offense again for the Owls. Outside of Hooks. Top of the key, it's Jones. Left side, Amani Johnson. Back to Jones on the pick and roll. Layup good. Ran to perfection that time, 66-51. And then a blocking foul at midcourt as Brooklyn McDaniel tried to take it up the floor. That'll be on Jashay Whitfield. Third team foul of the fourth period, 5:38 to go. It's a 15-point game as Kiera Griffin comes back in. Kiera's got 3 personal. Looks like she may receive the inbounds pass. She does. Gives it to Amari Martin. Amari to the right side. It's McDaniel. A 3 for Brooke. In there off the backboard. Just how you drew it up. 66-54. 12-point ball game. 5:20 to go. Owls looking for another way to match that score. Jack State looking for a stop. They'll get it. Too much on the layup. Rebounded by Mutanda. Mango weaving around defenders. Gives it off to Martin. Amari kicks it to a wide open McDaniel for 3. It's off the rim and rebounded by Mutanda again. Mango stops. Nobody's there. She's got to pass it. Over to Amari Martin. Outside key. 3. No, off the rim. Missed by Griffin. Over to Amari Martin. Back to Kiera. Won't try a 3 this time. She'll drive, and she's going to be called. No, it's going to be a block. Blocking foul on the Owls. 66-54 with 4:47 to go. That'll take us to the media timeout. Things tightening up a bit here in the fourth period. Can Jack State continue to chip away? And they let her shoot the free throws here. Kiera Griffin, the junior forward from Birmingham, at the line. 3 points in this game. First time at the line, the first one is good. JSU now 5 of 10 at the free throw line. Jack State still needing some work to match the 13 of 14 mark by the Owls. Griffin misses the second one, rebounded by Kennesaw State, just saved from going out of bounds. Gives it ahead to Carly Hooks. Hooks on the right wing. It's an 11-point game, 66-55. JSU's trailed by as many as 24 points in this one. Outscoring the Owls 70-8 here in the fourth period, though. Jashay Whitfield, top of the key, gives in the corner to Hooks. 9 on the shot clock. It's Amani Johnson. Calls for a screen. Goes to the left. Tries a long two. Off the rim. It's Mutanda. Another rebound. Mango with 8 boards. She'll take it down the floor. Stop on the wing. Johnson all over her. Lobs it over to Martin. 4:05 to go. Need a score here to cut it to single digits. Jumper from Amari. In and out. Rebounded by the Owls. That's Carly Hooks with it. She'll take it down the center of the floor all the way, and that's a charge. Mutanda had her feet set. Easy call for the officials, and Jack State will get the ball back. And Mutanda in the lane, planting those feet. Hooks doesn't like it, but she'll check out. And now Kiara Griffin throw it in, but first another sub for the Owls. Piccolino checks out. Lindsay Wilby comes back in. Petrie trying to engineer this comeback. Team down by 11, 3:45 to go. It's Mutanda. Cuts to the left, got a nice screen. Mango over to Kiara Griffin, nearly a steal. Kiara brings it up to the three-point line. Spins inside the line, takes it to the lane. Back outside to Kyra. She's got it with 10 on the clock. Williams in the corner to Griffin, a three. It is off the rim. Rebounded by nobody. Out of bounds off Kennedy Gavin. Kennesaw State will get it back. 3:26 to play. Inbounds pass goes to Amani Johnson. The point guard will bring it up the floor. Gamecocks 0 for their last 4. They have held the Owls scoreless over the last 2 minutes and change, though. An 11-point difference, 3:11 to go. A deep three for Kennesaw State off the front of the rim, over to Kyra Williams. Pressing down on the accelerator. JSU had numbers, but just for a moment, they'll slow down. Give it over to Mutanda. 3 minutes to play. Mutanda to the left wing, rotating the offense around. She'll try a three. It's Mango, in and out. Over to Kennesaw State. Nearly a steal on the rebound, but the Owls stay with it. Jack State outscoring Kennesaw State 17-8 here in the fourth period, but neither side with any points here in the last few minutes. Johnson, top of the key to Stacy Jones. Left side, this is Snipes. The Shaw High School product. Long two off the back of the iron, and it goes right to Kennedy Gavin. 5th rebound of the game for Ken. Ahead to Mutanda. 2:20 to play. Need to score here. Mutanda to Kennedy Gavin. Gavin at the free throw line. Got around Jones. Layup good. It's a 9-point game. Single digits for the first time in a long time. The Gamecocks trail 66-57. 2 minutes to play. This is Jashay Whitfield. Almost had it ripped away by Kyra Williams. Over to Wilby. Long two. Off the rim again. Tipped and caught by Mutanda. She's got 9 rebounds. Mango down the near side. Sets up shop on the wing. Over to Griffin. Fakes a three. To Kennedy Gavin now. Kennedy tries a shot. She is fouled. She'll head to the free throw line with 1:39 to go. Kennedy Gavin has a career high, tied for a career high now. 23 points to go along with her 5 rebounds. And the 6-foot forward will head to the line, not only trying to make a career high in points, but trying to cut into this deficit with just under 100 seconds to go. Fans making a ton of noise in this tense situation. The free throw from Gavin. Good. Rolled in there, 66-58. This next one to make it a 7-point game. Bends her knees, puts it in the sky. It finds the net. 66-59, and now Maddie McCoy comes in for Kiara Griffin. As expected, the Gamecocks putting on the press here. The Owls bringing their players to the near side. See if anybody goes long. No, they're going to throw it in short to Stacy Jones, now to Amani Johnson. Gamecocks will back up a bit. It's a 7-point game. You just need to stop here. Owls have not scored in 4 minutes and change. Jashay Whitfield hands it off. This is Snipes, top of the key to Jones. Gavin covering her. Over to Johnson. Minute 17 to go. 7 on the shot clock. Johnson left open. Gets around Mutanda. Passes it off to Jones. Jones trapped. 1 on the clock. Long 2. Whitfield good. At the horn. Jashay Whitfield hits it. And it's 68-59. Here's Amari Martin. Layup good. Count the basket and a foul. Or is it? No, it's a charge.
That's offensive.
And Petrie trying to say that's been called a block all game, but they won't get it overturned. And now Kennesaw State will have it with 56 seconds to go.
It's out ball.
68-59. Showing a replay of that play on the video board, and I'm even less sure it was a charge.
Timeout, Kennesaw State.
Timeout on the inbounds pass as nobody was coming open for the Owls. No matter how this one plays out, the Gamecocks have shown a ton of grit down the stretch, battling back from what was a 24-point deficit to make this one interesting, but there are no moral victories in this sport. And a loss here would move JSU to 2-4 in conference play. Can they overcome a 9-point deficit in the final 56 seconds? Need another stop and another score. Owls break their timeout. Gamecocks will make their way to the floor.
Stand up and get loud. Stand up now, fans.
It'll be Breland Snipes to check it in for Kennesaw State. Throws it into Amani Johnson, right at the edge of the logo near midcourt. About a 26-second difference between the shot and game clocks, 50 seconds to go. Down low, they go to Whitfield. She'll dribble it out. Only 2 team fouls on the Gamecocks. Got 3 to give here, or 2 to give here. Need to get a foul. In the corner to Snipes, a three-pointer off the rim. Rebound by the Owls, put back good. And timeout by Jack State. That all but does it. Stacy Jones with an aggressive putback, and it's 70-59. That'll put this game on ice if there was any doubt. Stacy Jones with 12 points, none bigger than those two. And seeing the few Gamecock fans in attendance making their way to the exits here at the KSU Convocation Center. Kennedy Gavin got boxed out that time. Stacy Jones with the putback. It's an 11-point lead for the Owls. Fans making more noise right now than they have this entire game. It's been a lively Convocation Center here at Kennesaw State. Kyra Williams throws it in the corner to Kennedy Gavin. She'll drive, spin around, layup, good. 27 for Kennedy Gavin, and another timeout taken. One more timeout left for JSU. 70-61 with 30 seconds to go. By the way, checking in on the men's score down in Fort Myers, it's Florida Gulf Coast 44, Jack State 38. They are in the under 4 media timeout. JSU has hit just one of their last 10 field goals. The defense has come to play down the stretch, but they have not been able to make the shots. Jack State just 2 of 16 from 3 in the men's game. In this one, a much better offensive outing for Jack State, shooting 38% as a team. They hit 8 three-pointers in this one, but it was a hot start for Kennesaw State. Scored 44 in the first half. As of right now, it looks like it was just too much to overcome for the Gamecocks. Amani Johnson to check it in. Nobody coming open. She'll lob it over everybody's head, and Kyra Williams will pick it up. Free possession for JSU. Got to get points out of it. Kyra throws it out of bounds. Overthrew Amari Martin, sent it into press row, and the shot clock is off. Kennesaw State will call time It's maybe the one outcome you would not be happy with. 24 seconds left. Kennesaw State can run this clock out and get out of here with a hard-fought dub. Reminder that Jacksonville State and Kennesaw State will play once more this week. They'll go at it at the Pete on Saturday. That game will start at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, 4 p.m. local time in Jacksonville. If you can't make it out, you can catch all the action on ESPN Plus and also here on the Gamecock Sports Network. We'll have the call on Saturday on the radio, 91.9 FM WLJS, as the men will play Stetson at 1 o'clock. Mike Paris will be wrapped up with that call by the time we're set to go back at the Pete. Career high in points in this game for Kennedy Gavin. Valiant effort for her. Has 27 in this game. Also a career high for Mango Mutanda, 15 and 9, close to a double-double if she can get a rebound, but I doubt anybody will put up another shot unless the Gamecocks start fouling with 24 seconds to go. Owls out on the court, Gamecocks out on the court. It'll be Braylon Snipes to throw it in on the near side. Goes into Wilby, and she's fouled immediately by Kiera Griffin. That'll be the fourth foul on KG. Gamecocks have one more to give. That burned a second and a half off. That should have been 5, just got it in, bumped into, no foul called, over to Amani Johnson. Now she's going to be fouled by Amari Martin. 16.2 seconds to go. And the next foul will have them shooting free throws. And timeout taken by Jack State with 16.2 to go. Want to thank everybody for tuning in on this Thursday night here in Cobb County, Georgia. It'll be a long ride home for Jack State. Same day trip. Only about an hour and a half of drive time back to Calhoun County, but after a loss like this, when you wonder what could have been, I'm sure it'll feel much longer for the players and the coaches. Still very impressed with this fourth period for JSU, outscoring the Owls 23-12. Allowed 26 made field goals in this game, just far too many if you want to win. This is a Gamecock defense that's top 100 nationally in points allowed per game. Quite simply put, the Owls came to play, they came to shoot, and they got a big win tonight at home. So we'll see if the Gamecocks can respond on Saturday at the Pete. Maybe respond in kind and get a win of their own and end this losing skid. Be the 9th win all time against JSU for Kennesaw State. They're 7th in 12 meetings at home. Throw it into Legister, and she's fouled. She'll head to the free throw line. Typically, you think, well, maybe you foul the center. Maybe they're not as good at the free throw line, but Legister hit both of her attempts earlier. So we'll see what the 6'2" senior can do here. First free throw from the Pennsylvania native. In the air. And too much on it. Stay a 9-point game. Second free throw from Legister. That one is good. 71-61, and the final timeout taken by Coach Petrie. Drawing jeers from the Kennesaw State band. 14.4 to go. Another look at the men's game, and They've got 3.5 to go. Florida Gulf Coast still leading 46-40. They have not hit a field goal in 5 minutes. Jack State has just not been able to get the win. They've not been able to really get the lead, I should have said, as they've hit just one of their last 10 attempts. Between the two sides, a combined 32 points in the second half. Wow. Florida Gulf Coast nearly had 32 in the first half by themselves. Kyra Williams gives it in to an Owl, knocked out of bounds. Watch out, Coach Wise. As Lindsey Wilby comes charging in, nearly took out the 10th-year assistant. Williams throws it into Kiera Griffin, bounces one to Martin. Amari three-pointer off to the left, rebounded by nobody. Let's say maybe Mutanda. Yeah, it's going to be a foul on the floor against Kennesaw State. Let's see if they give the rebound to Mutanda. If so, she's got a double-double. She'll head to the line, try to extend her career high in points. Free throw from the junior. Off to the right. They will not give that foul to Mutanda, understandable. 6 seconds to go. Second free throw from Mango, too much. Rebounded by Kennesaw State. They'll dribble out the clock, and that'll do it. Owls win by 10. A huge win for the Owls at home. They withstand a big second half comeback attempt by Jack State. They win 71-61. Kennesaw State improves to 8-9 on the year, 4-2 in conference play. Jack State falls to 9-8, 2-4 in conference play. We'll take a timeout, come back to some final stats and analysis. Hopefully we'll get an interview with Coach Petrie in just a moment. Stay with us here on the Gamecocks Sports Network. We're back here on the Gamecocks Sports Network. Your final score, Jacksonville State falls to Kennesaw State 71-61. Jacksonville State drops their third in a row and their fourth total ASUN Conference game through 6 matchups. Not an ideal start to conference play, but still a chance to salvage it, turn around the season. A chance for a quick revenge on Saturday as the Gamecocks play host to Kennesaw State. That game, once again, will start at 4 p.m. Central Time, 5 p.m. Eastern Time Saturday at the Pete. We'd love to see you there, wanting to have a huge crowd. We'll have Hardcore, the band, back at home, playing on for the Gamecocks and for the fans in attendance, looking for some great support. If you can make it out, please come out and check out some Gamecock basketball on Saturday at the Pete. Looking at some final stats from this game, start out with the Gamecocks. Career highs in scoring for Kennedy Gavin and Mango Mutanda, 27 and 15 respectively. Kennedy Gavin with 27 points and 5 rebounds, a career high. Just an incredible performance for Kennedy. 12 made field goals, had 5 rebounds and 1 assist. Mango Mutanda got the start, did not have a bad outing whatsoever. Definitely lived up to, earning that start. Had 15 points, 9 rebounds. I still think she could have got credit for that last rebound. Would have given her a double-double with 15 and 10, but we'll take 15 and 9 when we can get it. And looks like she had some family in attendance tonight, so great to see Masingo shining in front of some family and friends here at the KSU Convocation Center. Amari Martin had 6 points, 4 rebounds, and 4 assists, kind of earning back that point guard role since Shantae Shaw was unable to perform in this one. 4 points for Brooklyn McDaniel, 4 points for Kiera Griffin, 3 for Shaquise May, 2 for Madison McCoy. All wraps together for a 71-61 defeat for Jack State. JSU shoots 38% from the field. Kennesaw State, on the other hand, shoots 41%, and they get a huge win. Joined now by Jacksonville State head coach Rick Petrie. Coach Petrie, thanks for taking the time to join us. Tough loss tonight for the Gamecocks, but showed some good things down the stretch. What can you say about the performance tonight?
Well, I think that there's no question that we fought back. It's just we started the game with absolutely no fight whatsoever. I mean, and it's hard for me to understand. We had a conversation as a team on Monday about the importance of approaching the game with the right mindset. And to be honest with you, the only kid who had the right mindset at the beginning of the game was Mango Mutanda. She was the only kid who had the right mindset at the beginning of the game. And it really took us until, midway through the second quarter before we started playing with any type of fight and competitiveness. But, by that time, we're down 20-something. I thought in the second half, I thought we fought and competed. When you're trying to overcome a deficit like that, you can't afford mistakes, and we had too many. Particularly on defense, we had some horrible missed blockouts that led to second chance points for them. And we're by percentage, we're the best defensive rebounding team in this league, and we just absolutely blew it on at least 3 that I can remember that led to putbacks. And we lose the game by 10. If we are able to secure rebounds with that, that's 6 points they don't get, and so who knows what the outcome is after that. But like I said, that's 6 points they don't get if we would have just finished with blockouts. So the good news is that we at least showed some courage and some fight. And because it looked like they were going to run us out of the gym. And, but the good news is we finally, midway through the second quarter, after I called timeout, we showed some resolve. I think we scored the next 6 points coming out of the timeout. And then they hit a couple of threes. Number one, who does not shoot it very well, hits a 3. But I talked about the fact that, we had given their whole team so much confidence with the ease that they were able to score in the first 15 minutes of the game that now even kids who aren't used to making shots make shots. And then Wilby hit one right before the half with Madison McCoy in her face. And again, but that comes with the confidence that we had given them from allowing them to score so easily in the first 15 minutes. So, we held them, I think, 14 points in the third quarter and 13 in the second. I mean, that's 27 points and a half. We can live with that. Problem is we were down by too many. So, and here's the other thing. I've been doing this as an assistant coach, as a head coach. I've been in the profession, this is my 36th year. I've never coached a game where both my starting and backup point guard didn't play.
Yep.
In 36 years of coaching, it's never happened.
Yep.
So, but I do think, however, like I said, in the last 25 of the 40 minutes played, I thought even without a point guard, we were able to play some pretty good basketball, but it was just too late.
Exactly. And we'll say about the offense, looked much improved, especially in that second half, 38% from the field, knocked down 8 threes tonight. What can you say about their performance, and again, especially in the second half?
Well, again, I think it had to do with a number of things. I think we decided to come out with some focus and some fight. And, we had this conversation on Monday because we have so many kids who were pivotal to our success last year who have struggled mightily. And we talked about that mindset is most of the problem because there have been openings. There have been openings. There have been opportunities. We just haven't been able to finish them. And for whatever reason, midway through the second, I think Kennedy Gavin got us go because I think she scored those first 6 points, if I'm not mistaken. In that run at the beginning of midway through the second quarter. But I just think that focus has everything to do with it, and in the second half we were just a lot more focused.
Not to overlook Kennedy Gavin, career high 27 points, but as you mentioned, it feels like Mutanda was kind of the story of this game. What was it this week in practice that you saw from her that definitely kind of earned her that starting role?
Well, what earned her the starting role is that we have 2 point guards out.
That probably helped a little bit.
Yeah. But what she did was she took advantage of the circumstance, because of the fact, Amari Martin is our third point guard on this roster, and our emergency point guard, if you will, and she did a great job in that role today. So she's the 2 that moves her to the 1 that opens the 2 up, and Mango is Amari's back up at the 2. And Mango did a really nice job. She did a great job for us today. And, hopefully that's something, because frankly, she's somebody who's been struggling offensively. So hopefully that's something that can be a catalyst for her moving forward.
Not to hold you too long, Coach, one final question. With the scheduling, back-to-back games against Kennesaw State, what's the team going to have to do better on Saturday to come away with a win?
Well, we're going to have to come out with a different attitude. Our attitude at the beginning of this game was atrocious. So, we demonstrated in a half of basketball, we outscored them by 10 points. Problem is we went into it down 20. We proved that in a half of basketball we can outscore them, even with a shorthanded roster. And we're probably going to be shorthanded again on Saturday. I know for sure Nakaya's not playing, and I'm not sure about Shaw. But the first thing is our attitude. We have to have a completely different attitude in how we approach the game, because we approach this game, how we approached it coming out of the gate was we were defeated before the game started. And so if we do that again, it's going to be the same result. Hopefully by what happened in the second half, we've proven to ourselves that we can, with this roster as it is right now, without some key people, we can still compete and play with these guys. And then, again, we've got to be able to finish possessions on the defensive end, because, like I said, in the second half, that's 6 points they got off of just blown blockouts that they don't get. And now if they don't get, again, it's 4 points, and who knows what happens, with a 4-point difference instead of a 10-point difference. So we'll see.
We appreciate your time, Coach. Good game, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. And that was head coach Rick Petrie. Said we'll see him tomorrow. Instead, we'll see him Saturday at the Pete. Jacksonville State going at it against Kennesaw State, Part 2. That game will tip off at 4 p.m. Central Time in Jacksonville. But that should just about do it for tonight's broadcast from Kennesaw, Georgia. For everybody with JSU Athletics, I'm Logan Maddox signing off. Have a great rest of your evening. Your final score, Kennesaw State wins at 71-61.